So when you hear the word Tate, you think about Andrew Tate, but it's really the brothers, Andrew and Tristan Tate. And when I think about Tristan Tate, I told him earlier, I said, you could have gone a completely different route. The guy looks like a Hollywood star. He looks like a movie star. He looks like he could have played James Bond. Maybe they should even consider him for James. I know they just made the announcement. He looks like a real James Bond. Dresses like one, has the personality of one. The ladies love him. If you've never seen his pictures, just go on Google, type in Tristan Tate. You'll see what he looks like. Good looking guy. But he's got a complete different identity to himself. Very different than Andrew. We had a very good time talking to Andrew, your brother, and the way he built you up today was very unique. I've seen you guys talk to each other about each other, but the way he did it today was very different. Anyways, Tristan, it's good to have you on the podcast.
It's good to finally meet
Yes.
you.
Last time we met in Madrid, but we never did a podcast together.
No, for about 60 seconds. I was saying I was eating Spanish paella the night before, cracked one of my teeth, and then the next morning Andrew wakes me up saying, okay, let's go to Patrick's podcast, and I had this big swollen face, so I hid inside of my hotel, but I did catch you for about 45 seconds by reception because we were staying in the same place.
Yeah.
And you thought I'd been in a fight.
I thought, because you guys fight, I'm like, this guy probably got into a fight. Apparently now I know the story.
He lost to some muscles, but not the good kind of muscles.
Yeah, not the good kind.
So here's my question for you. When we read the stories about why, Andrew's gone to prison, or Andrew this, or this woman came out, or that woman came out, why did you go to jail? Why did you get banned? Why did they take your Instagram down? I mean, I remember the pictures. It was all cars and suits and motivational stuff. So is it guilty by association?
It is guilty by association. I hate to say it, but I'm fully aware that I would not have been banned or cancelled or probably ended up in jail if I wasn't Andrew's brother. But there are so many benefits that come with being Andrew's brother that you have to take the good with the bad. So it didn't upset me too much. No, I smiled about it.
Where does this positive attitude come from? You could be the victim. Oh, Andrew, you did this. Yeah, you landed me in jail. Look at all our assets are seized. Yet, smile on your face, as gracious, just humble guy. Where did all this come from?
It's always been the way me and Andrew are, and we've shared in our successes. The first time he became a millionaire, we celebrated. When I became a millionaire, we celebrated. When we bought our first supercar, we drove that home from the dealership together. So every single positive moment in my life, the first time we ever chartered a private jet, I remember we were just happy, drinking, having a great time on the plane. This is before he reverted, before anybody jumps on that drinking reference. But if you want to take all the good moments from having a relationship, a brotherly relationship like me and Andrew have, and then he becomes the world's most Googled man, one of the most influential men, I guess, in the world. And by default, he's attacked by the Matrix in a way that ends up with him being thrown in prison. I feel like I'd be more mad if I didn't go to prison with him. I'd feel like, I've taken all the good from being associated with Andrew, and, he builds me up and I build him up. And for him to be sitting in jail without me, it would just feel wrong. So I'm not even mad about it. I'm the opposite of mad about it. I'm glad they roped me in with it. I'm glad they said guilty by association. I'm glad they throw me in jail with him. And if they frame him for real and send him back, they better send me back too, or I'll break myself in.
You break yourself into jail.
I'll break into the jail. Right. Seduce one of the prison guards or something smart. I
can't see you doing something like that. I can't see you doing something like that. But you did give a good book recommendation earlier. I appreciate that, which was great. It's an inside joke, but so going back to this whole story of, I got confused right now because, we're both in a different place right now.
I got it.
I'm thinking number 7. I'm thinking 8.5. I'm in a whole different place today.
Okay.
But working out is good. Staying in shape is good. All that stuff is a very good thing.
Yeah.
So really though, when you talk to your lawyers, why did they put you in jail? I mean, I know it's guilty by association. Can they even do that? Like, what is the crime? Every story, all the girls, it's only towards Andrew. Where are you involved?
Yeah, well, when digging through Andrew's entire past, trying to find a reason to put him in jail, what you have to understand is we have not been accused by X number of women. The prosecutor has accused us of doing X to X number of women. These women actually defend us actively. One of the statements in the file is a girl who I used to date a little bit. She details nothing illegal, says nothing illegal went on. She wasn't held against her will, she wasn't trafficked, she wasn't exploited. But because I used to sleep with her, I guess I'm guilty too. So, I mean, I guess one of the girls is my ex. So that's the only real link with me. But yeah, it's guilty by association. They wanted the Tate brothers in jail.
So when they came to arrest, did they come to, was it you and Andrew? It was both of you?
Yeah, they had arrest warrants for both of us. And when they came to arrest us, what's very funny is my cousin's girlfriend was here at the time with her friend. There were actually women in the house at the time. The women in the house were not questioned. The women in the house were not asked if they were okay. The women in the house were not asked if they were in danger, if they were safe. They were completely left alone, left to sit on the couch with us while the police watched over us. Well, they went through the house and took everything that was valuable. They were Googling the value of the various items they were taking, marking it down on a spreadsheet, and they left, I think, without saying a single word to the women who were in this house, which is very unusual, you would think, in an investigation about human trafficking. But you could take what implications from there you will, and guess what their motivations were, if you will. But I can't say anything at the moment.
That makes sense. So we talked to Andrew earlier about his experience in jail. How was the experience for you, from your point of view?
Well, I mean, Romania spends less money per prisoner than any single country in the European Union. The prisons are constantly getting in trouble from the European Union for being underfunded, too many people per room, not enough square meters, not enough calories per day. So the jail experience, it wasn't good, but it was interesting. And I took jail in a very strange way. I feel like if you're gonna walk around the world running your mouth all the time about what you are and what you think you are, eventually something's going to come along in the world and test you. You walk around saying, I'm the baddest man on the planet, I can beat anyone up on earth. One day someone in the street is going to be like, you're the guy who thinks he can beat anyone up and punch your lights out. I don't speak as much as Andrew, but I do say I'm a very strong-minded person. I always preach to young men, if you're going through hardships, you need to deal with it like a man, continue your training, stay focused. And it just felt like God gave me an opportunity to prove to myself, above all else, as well as to everyone else who listens to me, that I am actually what I say I am. So coming out of jail, I'm almost grateful for the experience, as hellish as the environment was.
As hellish as the environment was, you were grateful for it?
Yeah, I'm grateful that my life has been very, very easy for the last 6 or 7 years. I retired from professional fighting when I was 28. The last sad thing that I guess happened to me was my father passing when I was 26 and a half. So I'm 34 now, I'm coming up 35. These things happened a very long time ago. I've increased in wealth, I've increased in fame. I fly around the world doing whatever I like, driving whatever car I like, staying wherever I like, sleeping wherever I like, going, it's been such an amazing experience that I haven't tested myself for real in a very long time. So yeah, grateful for the experience.
Andrew had very high praise about you, right? I mean, we did a whole segment about he always thought you were the best brother in the world, but after being in jail with you, now he knows, he's confirmed and reaffirmed that you're the best brother in the world. And he almost kind of compared you to like being the yin to his yang, right? And I didn't really fully understand who Tristan was. We've sat with Andrew for hours on end. We've had 45 seconds with you after that paella incident, right? But he says that your special gift is you've mastered the art of not giving a fuck. Yeah. So what is that all about?
Well, I'd say it's not giving a fuck in the way that, because I know people who don't give a fuck. Their life sucks. They don't work out. They don't care about their own health, happiness, wealth, work. Not in a degenerate, I'm a bum kind of way. I'll give you a better example, because I know exactly what he means. I feel like, because I am his younger brother, every great general who sits at a table with his staff needs that one fearless guy with him. He needs people who preach prudence and being careful, and we have those people, believe me. They're very, very loud in our ears every single day since getting out of jail. But if you're a great samurai general and you're sitting around the table, you also need that one guy who says, okay, there's 10,000 of them, there's 5 of us, okay, let's just go. It's more fearlessness than not giving a fuck. If I had played things my way since getting out of jail, me and Andrew would probably be back in jail right now. I'm censoring myself on this podcast, but the first day I got out, I thought, you know what, screw it, just put a camera on, just tell the whole world what's going on, let them take me away live on stream. That's me. So luckily he keeps me in check, but also I feel like I can inspire him to make a few bolder and braver decisions in life because of my counsel. So I'm very much one of his councilmen, but he does need me at the table. Without that guy, you're just going to be a pussy,
Have you always played the number 2 role? Like, in monarchical times, it was always the eldest son that was passed down to the crown. From your father down to Andrew to you, has it always been an understanding, all right, I'm number 2, my brother's the leader, let me get in line, let's crush it?
You know what, I don't feel it's necessarily like that. I feel it's more that I know what his strengths are, and I'm there to compensate for his weaknesses. He knows what my strengths are, and I'm there to compensate for his weaknesses. So who's the leader and who's not all depends on the situation that we're in. Certainly me and Andrew have been a team a very long time, and we made a lot of money before we ever blew up on the internet. Our relationship was a lot more equal then, but Andrew is the famous one. I'm fully aware that he's the guy who will go in front of the camera and say the types of things or voice his opinions in a way that garner infamy and fame. And I've blown up alongside him. Mm-hmm. So part of the price is going to jail.
They say that your ego is not your amigo. There must be some part of you. You're a 6'4", badass, good-looking, Hollywood-looking guy, girls, Bugattis, yet you're willing to take a back seat to Andrew's fame. So you must have a big ego to be the place that you're in, but you also have to take a step back and say, all right, Andrew, you're the guy. How do you grapple with that?
Well, yeah, with what we're doing now, Andrew's certainly the face of it. But he wanted to build this. This was never my intention. I thought, okay, you're going to make some money on the internet. That's cool, Andrew. You do that. I'll continue doing what... In fact, I'm going to interject with another story. There was a time when me and Andrew could barely pay the rent. He was training and he was fighting full-time. He was a kickboxing one-time world champion, I think, at the time. And I was selling windows. Now, I'm a great salesman. So I was bringing home 1,000+ British pounds per week.